Black magic. You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
Welcome back to another edition of RatG TV. It's your boy Zeus, and with me as he is every week, sporting the Bengals jersey that, yes, beat us last week on some controversy, we will say, but it is the NFL. It wouldn't be the NFL if there weren't some controversial calls each and every week.
That's right.
I'd be wearing my Vikings jersey anyways, but got the green screen going. Got to be showing off the ladies today as I move. It's so weird that it does that.
Right?
But yeah, so now you can see the blue screen behind me. Anyways, we got some ladies there. What's going on, you say? Well, I'm sure you guys read the description, and we are doing our salute to female actresses, some of the best female actresses in the world, and we are going and naming some of our favorite roles or movies that had female leads. And when we say female leads, they don't have to be the exact lead of the movie. I mean, like there's a lot of things where, you co-lead or
ensembles.
Exactly. Even if they're a supporting actress, but they stole the show in that movie, then we put them up there. So that's
you know, you and I both say from week to week a lot of the time, like if you, whatever the topic is, like you say, if you ask me this tomorrow or next week, this list is going to be different. And, you know, although I did bump a couple people off this list, the more I thought about it, I really feel I have my 5 favorite women in Hollywood on this list. And honestly, I don't think this list would change in a week or a month or even a year, because I just love all these women so much.
And I love all the women on my list, but mine would definitely change. Because I know there's going to be a movie I'll watch, or somebody will bring something up and I'll be like, oh, shit, yeah, now I got to bump that. Because I bumped like
a couple of one that I just mentioned in passing that ended up on your list. Great actress.
Yep. And even on mine, like I said, I dumped a couple right before the show started just because they weren't going to fit. But folks, let us know, what are your favorite female-led movies of all time? Put them in the comments. We'll put them up there and we will talk about them. We've got that going. Luke Tuff said Rogue One. That almost made my list.
Yeah, that was my son's first answer when I asked him.
Yep. Kathy Bates, Misery. Can't believe I forgot her. Yeah, I think everybody thought about that one as well. So we've got lots to talk about today. Of course, we've got our This Week in Geek, our Twig, where we bring you all the updates from the world of pop culture, as you will. Steve, you've got your 5-second movie review this week. What movie are you reviewing for the folks?
Yeah, the last couple of weeks there were so many Fridays there was 2 really good movies out for the last couple of weeks. So I had to pick and choose. So this one came out a couple weeks ago, but I did promise this one, so I watched Candyman last night. And
say it again. Say it again.
And I was trying to think last night, like, okay, I thought in the first one it was 3 times.
Yeah,
like Bloody Mary. It was 5 times, and Bloody Mary was 3 times, right? Mm-hmm. But then I looked up the lore of Bloody Mary, and apparently it started as 13 times. And to give you a little history here, it actually started as young single women would walk up the stairs backwards in dimly lit rooms with a candle and a hand mirror, and it was said that they would see their future husband. But if they saw a skull or death, then it said that they would die before they ever married.
Damn, that's pretty crazy. Luke says Miss Brady, Shelley Long, not the original, too sexist. That's some Ron territory right there. Yeah. So
I had to switch to the beer, Luke. I started with the whiskey a little too early today.
I switched up my whiskey this week. Didn't go with Jack Daniels. Tried me some Johnny Walker Red Label.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's smooth. Very smooth. I didn't like the Black Label. I remember having that before, but it was never.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the Black Label. No.
Yeah, but the red's nice and smooth. anyways, as we get our liquor sponsors out of the way, oh my God, Shelley Long in Wildcats, another great one. That
was
that's Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. Yeah. Steve, for fuck's sakes, I'll do a video to show you how to drink. Yeah, I can see that ending badly for both of you. Like, for real. The police will be called at some point during the night. So not only do we have Steve's 5-second movie review of the movie Candyman, I'll be bringing you my TikToker of the week. I'm even going to tell you who it is now. It's Big Mike Olasky, who's an actor, former child actor. He played Colt on the Three Ninjas movies. He was the last original Red Ranger for the Power Rangers. And he is an MMA fighter. Very good career. He's got like 3 belts, like 3 championship belts under his belt. That was a lot of belts.
Over his belt?
Over his belt? Yeah, I know, right? But he is fighting a former Power Ranger as well. So he's fighting the Blue Turbo Ranger, Blake Forrest. And I love following Mike because he's hilarious. He's a true fighter, whereas Blake Foster's a point fighter. Like, so you can't really touch the head or anything like that. It's a different sport altogether.
Very much.
But Olasky is funny as shit. Not his real mom, but basically his Hollywood mom, like who he was raised by, was the lady from The Mandalorian who had the Beskar spear.
Okay.
Yeah. So he had all these TikToks. He's like, I don't know where General Thrawn is. Mama, where's General Thrawn? So yeah, it's a funny guy. So we will take a look at some of his stuff later on. And then, aside from that, we're going to take all your replies and stuff, and we'll get through this because that's what we do. What's up, Will? How you doing, brother? Topic today, best females in movies. Female leads in any movies. Who are your favorites? Let us know, buddy. We will put them up there. Yep, Goldie, not Shelley. My bad. All good, brother. Best female leads. Look at that. Taking care of each other out there. I like it. 2 Brits. Well, 1 Brit and 1 UK. Right? Sydney is the UK. Right. Sonya in the original Mortal Kombat. Give me a break, Sonya. Okay. And she breaks his neck. And we've seen that actress in a lot of stuff. She was in Billy Madison. She was the teacher that he was in love with.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she was Sonya Blade in the original Mortal Kombat, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she married a tennis player.
Yeah.
A very famous tennis player.
Yes. Did she?
I think so.
I like tennis too, and I don't know. Je ne sais pas, mon ami. All right. I know we're not getting a lot of the viewers that we normally do. That's because I am currently banned from Facebook. A friend of ours had posted.
I did tag you though, so you did accept that, right?
I did accept it. Yeah, I could accept it, but I can't do anything with it.
Right.
But for those that are, if anyone's wondering, it's because our buddy Steve Hodges quoted the fantastic Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans movie, The Last Boy Scout, where Kim Coates is, I don't know, interrogating Bruce Willis or whatever, just waking him up, gives him a cigarette. He asks for a cigarette. Kim Coates punches him in the face, and he says, I'm going to need another cigarette, and I'm going to need another light. And if you touch me again, I'll fucking kill you. Steve had said the line that led up to that. So I said the next line, which was, if you touch me again, I'll fucking kill you. That got me a 24-hour suspension. I totally understand the algorithm where they thought they saw what they saw. Totally get that. But come on. So I get back after 24 hours. People keep asking me, and I don't want to post what I said. I'm like, I'm not typing that out ever again because I'll get booted again. So I'm like, well, here, I'll take a meme. I'll take the meme from that. There's no way they're going to get me for a fucking meme that's just a picture from the movie. Right. And it's saying that line. And I got a 3-day ban. which is
No
up.
time served.
No time served. No. No time served. No. So I will be back. Like by the time the show goes off the air, I'll be able to start posting again. But I'm sorry. And yes, I am a badass. Angelina Jolie, Tomb Raider. West Side or East Side Welland. I don't know. How you do it. Angelina Jolie.
As I'm sporting my
Poke High.
show everybody this today.
Make Welland great again. And only the bike or the Welland biker fucking italics. Love it. All right. So why don't we get to this though? I mean, because we got a lot of news stories to get to as well. But this is going to be a fun one. Let's get to our movies and see what everybody says. I got warnings for quoting a film that was sexist in Facebook's opinion on this very show. Well, we reported you. That's why. It was us.
Right. Yeah, we won't have that, man.
I am new. Welcome, Samuel. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy. Our topic today, what are your favorite female-led movies? And they don't have to be the star of the show. Just have to be someone that really sticks out for you.
Strong performances.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised between the two of us. Well, you know what? I'll save it for afterwards. Just remind me what was the thing that I was surprised about on both of ours. Okay, though. But you start us off as you do every week. Buddy, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so starting with number 5, this is a woman who, she's been in the business forever, and I just love her. I love her when she's serious, and I love her in comedies. Like, she has been in Blast from the Past, 4 Christmases. She was in Stephen King's Castle Rock, which she was great in. The Help, JFK, and North Country. I'm talking about Sissy Spacek and the movie Carrie. Like, this one started it all for me. This one freaked me out. Because my friends had a walkway, just like, they had the little picket fence, and then you open the gate and you walk in. And when she walks in at the end, her mother's arm comes up and grabs her leg. And I was just like,
yeah, that jump scared me at that point. But surprisingly, this is a movie that didn't scare me growing up.
Right.
And I had watched it. And I don't know what it is with movies. There were a lot of Stephen King movies that didn't scare me. And you know me, everything else, the slashers, I think it was. The slashers and the monster movies scared me. And also The Mist, which I was a lot older when that one came out.
Yeah.
But it was more, you know what it was about The Mist? It was more just the ending than anything.
Horrific.
Like,
Horrific.
Seriously. Like, what?
Horrific.
So, oh my God. Sorry, I didn't mean to get you going there. Yes, we would. For the right amount of money, we would. No, I'm just kidding, Luke. We wouldn't. You're one of us, brother. Carrie was bloody awesome. I see what you did there. Does Christine count? I don't know. I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, because the owner identified the car as female, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we'll take it. Anyways, I like that one. Sissy Spacek as Carrie.
Moving on.
Not the same energy with this next movie, though.
This next movie, no. I really ended up picking my 5 favorite actresses, and this one was a good story, even though it was about a guy who ended up going to the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I'm not going to nitpick here. Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side. I mean, she's just been in so much. Bird Box, Time to Kill, Speed, Gravity.
Yeah, she is a great actress. I do really like her a lot. I really wanted Ocean's 8 to be great.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with those movies. And this is not saying there shouldn't be an all-female one, but does the movie make more money if it's just the cast is what it is? Like, it's men and women in the cast, men, women, transgender, whatever you want. Like, everyone welcome, and then you don't, because I think when you do that, then you get a bunch of guys that get offended. They're like, oh, well, look at this. They're trying to appease the women. Well, Yeah, they were. What's wrong with that? But I think if the studio wants to make more money, they have to be cognizant of those. I hate saying it, but those toxic male kind of attitudes, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Anyways, that's my rant. And I love Sandy B.
Yeah, my number 3. There's not much anyone better in the business than this next one. I mean, we're talking Dolores Claiborne, also in The Blind Side, American Horror Story, Titanic, Fried Green Tomatoes, and The Waterboy, which I know you love.
I did.
Mama
You
from The Waterboy.
football.
But the movie that did it for me was Kathy Bates in Misery. Like this was the first Stephen King movie that I watched, and I was just like, wow. Because, in the 80s, the ones we got were like, like you said, Christine and Cat's Eyes and,
Right. What was
stuff
that?
like that, right?
Movie or whatever with the troll, or maybe it was called Troll. Cat's Eye was the one. Yeah. So many bad ones. Leprechaun.
But yeah, Kathy Bates is just great in everything.
I really like that Netflix show Disjointed.
Yeah, we haven't tried that one yet.
You haven't watched it?
No.
Well, I don't know if you'll like it though, because it is a little trippy though. Like it is all about weed, and she owns a dispensary in Colorado, I believe it is. But they do have some trippy stuff though in it. But not bad. I like it. And Kathy Bates is great, like you said, and everything. Well, it says Julie Garland, Wizard of Oz. Wow, I didn't even think of that. That's a great pull.
Yeah.
The original creature from the Black Lagoon had to be a woman in ink. Luke. Kathy was amazing in it. Rob Schneider was her bitch. Rob Schneider's everyone's bitch in movies.
He really is.
That's what makes him great. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. I mean, name an award. This next woman's got it. She's been in everything from, this is a running theme tonight, North Country, Mississippi Burning, 3 Billboards in Ebbing, and Fargo, Frances McDormand.
Yeah, she's a fantastic actress who deserves every Oscar she wins. Like, she's the new Meryl Streep, it seems.
Yeah.
My only problem with her is it seems like she's just always upset. She never seems to. I don't think I've ever seen her smile. No, for real. And I mean at the award shows and everything. Because she always
it's funny you say that because on my previous picks, Kathy Bates, like I said, Waterboy, Sandra Bullock, has been in comedies, Sissy Spacek, Four Christmases. She's fucking hilarious. The mom in Blast from the Past, she's hilarious,
Right, Brandon Fraser.
I'd really like to see Frances McDormand take her shot at comedy. Let's see what you got.
Fargo kind of was though. Fargo.
It was a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Dark comedy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I respect her acting and everything. It's just, she's just too serious.
I see that. I can see that.
For me, it's the same. It's the same. I look at the acting the same way I do as dating apps and politics. I will not vote for you, and I will not swipe right if you don't smile in any of your pictures. And that's not me being the guy saying, "Oh, you'd be nicer if you smiled more." I mean the people who, if you always have a scowl on your face, I'm not that guy. I need somebody upbeat and stuff, because I feed off that shit. And if you're dour all the time, I'll feed off of that, and I don't like the taste of that. But yeah,
I agree. For sure.
Yeah, so please, Frances McDormand, do a straight up comedy, and then at an award show, be appreciative that you're there. There's a lot of shit that's going on in the world, and I love that she speaks out for all of that. But smile, man, smile. Anyways, this next one smiles a lot.
Yeah, someone who's the next one definitely has a great smile, and she's been in everything from comedies to actions to drama to sci-fi. Charlize Theron, but the movie I picked is a true story about the first class action suit taken against a company for sexual harassment. Lois Jensen was the character that she was playing in this. And as you can see, the cast there, Frances McDormand, Sissy Spacek, Woody Harrelson, just a great cast, great movie.
Sean Bean's in that. I've never seen this movie. So how long did it take for Sean Bean to die?
Who's that?
Game of Thrones, Ned Stark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he dies in everything.
Yeah, no, great movie. If you haven't seen it, highly, highly recommend it. True story.
Yeah, and she's great at the true stories, and I've said this for I don't know how long, and Steve's my backup on this. Anytime anyone asks me who I think the best actor on the planet is, I always say Charlize.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's a man, woman, anything on the planet that's a better actor than she is right now because she's Day-Lewis, but fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sitting on a toilet.
Right. Monster, right? You go from Monster, Mighty Joe Young, Devil's Advocate, Mad Max Fury Road, which was on my list, but I had to bump it. I felt horrible about it. I mean, the Fast and the Furious movies now, which we won't hold against her. We won't hold Wild Wild West against, not Wild Wild West, Million Ways to Die in the West. We won't hold that against her. We understand you were dating Seth at the time. You had to do that. We get it. But that's it. Great list. We got some comments here we got to catch up on. Kathy was amazing. Oh, yeah, we saw that. Miss Piggy in the Muppets movie. No, I don't say you're just kidding. That's a great one. Was the Muppets movie the Rainbow Connection? Or Moving Right Along? Footloose and Fancy Free. Not a movie, but Bones was pretty great. Well, up to season 4. Yeah, I was never a fan, honestly.
Yeah, I never watched this one.
What?
I tried because I like David Boreanaz a bit. Like I liked him as Angel on Buffy. But yeah, I couldn't get into Bones. I don't like the procedural crime drama shows too often. Which I say that, but I love Lucifer. You're right, Will. Miss Piggy's awesome. Loretta, how are you? Olympia Dukakis in almost anything. Yep. What was Olympia Dukakis? My favorite thing with her, I'm sorry, is Look Who's Talking. She's Rebecca's mom. Am I frozen?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You were just looking weird. Like,
Was I frozen?
What's that? No, you were just looking like I wasn't there or something. I'm like, do you not know who Olympia Dukakis is?
I do know who Olympia Dukakis is.
You know, the woman that we all thought was really John Travolta's mom? Alanis Morissette in Dogma, She Is God. I love that movie. Sean Bean never dies. He just gets stronger. Selma Hayek in anything, particularly in Dust Till Dawn. So has anyone seen her movie? I can't remember what it was called, but she's in a John Wick type movie, and I fucking loved it.
Didn't we just watch that?
Where she's in the apartment?
Not him in Bodyguard. There's something else.
No, she's in an apartment, and she's trying to survive like a mafia hit or something on her.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it was good. And I just watched Kate. That's what inspired our whole female, because this was a fun movie. Woody Harrelson, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Huntress on
almost like an Atomic Blonde type.
Yes, very much so, but more cartoony than Atomic Blonde, but more violent as well, like more graphic violence. But Atomic Blonde was realistic. Like you watch that and you're like, because that one scene with Charlize, that one fight scene with Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde, I watched the behind the scenes and it's all one take. And she's like, there's one part where she's like catching her breath in the movie. And that was like a real thing where she's just, it's too fucking much. But yeah, no, Kate, I highly recommend. If you don't like subtitles, you might not like this movie, though, because there's a lot of subtitles in it. They're in Japan a lot. What about Mia Khalifa? I don't know who that is. But Daniel, what's up, brother? How you doing from the land and down under? Just thinking about you the other day.
And we've lost Daniel.
Yeah, man. I miss Daniel. Helena Ivan Carter in Helena Bonham Carter, you mean, in Sweeney Todd. Tim Burton's ex-wife. She was the girlfriend in Fight Club. She's in everything Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, basically.
Yes. She is Rob Zombie's Sherry Moon.
Who's that?
Really?
She's in everything. She's in every Rob Zombie movie. His wife, his girlfriend. Like, just stop.
Yeah, she's done.
All right. Well, hey, we'll do my list real quick here. I thought I bumped this off my list as number 5, but like I said, it started this whole thing for me, and that was the movie Kate. This is Mary Elizabeth Winstead right here. Does she look familiar aside from Birds of Prey at all to you?
Not really. No.
Here, I'm gonna quote something, and you tell me the movie. This is the quote from her, and I guarantee you know it. Oh my God, Daddy, you shot yourself in the shoulder.
Oh my God. Why did I know that?
Yeah.
There's another line in that movie, not from her, from, I'll give you the hint, Justin Long. And Justin Long says, oh my God, you just killed a helicopter with a car.
Die Hard. Yeah, Die Hard.
4. Yeah, so that is the same girl. That is Lucy Gennaro, a.k.a. Lucy McLean. And oh my God, what a badass. Like, I mean, just watch the movie, dude. You know me so I've got like ADHD like through the roof because I always have to play video games while I'm working or watching a movie or vice versa. I have to have something going on. I was watching that movie and playing video games like I normally do, and I had to turn the video games off because I kept missing. For me, it was like I binge watch Forged in Fire. Have you seen that yet?
I've seen it, yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
It's not
So
something I
my
watch
favorite part-
religiously.
Yeah.
It's a cool show.
My favorite part of the show, I don't know about you, is when they do the kill test.
Mm-hmm.
So I always pause whatever video games I'm at, or if I'm playing online and they get to the kill test, I pause the show, and then once I'm done the video game, I can watch the kill test. That's what it was for this movie. I'm like, oh my God, it is almost 24/7 kill test in this movie, and I mean, John Wick. Oh wow! Like I don't think John Wick was as vicious as she was in this movie, and she gets her ass whooped too. Like it's not one of those things where she's just this unstoppable like she is, but she gets her ass whooped hard, and I haven't seen that in a long time. Daniel says, I'm still here going well, just enjoying another lockdown due to the coronavirus. Yeah, but
I've been reading about Australia.
The trucker strike. I hope you guys are doing good, man. She's great in Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, she plays Ramona in Scott Pilgrim. She's the love interest and the kick-ass lead in Scott Pilgrim.
Okay.
Loretta says Forged in Fire is really cool. Have you watched Blown Away on Netflix? No. Is that a glass blowing show? Because I keep saying to my kids that I want to find a forge somewhere. Like not like Canada Forge, like not a big factory forge, but some forge somewhere where I could just want to try it one day just to bang out a knife, right? Like I'll die probably doing it, but my kids want to go and do glass blowing. And there used to be a place
there's got to be somewhere around here you can try that.
There was a place in Gasline that was a couple doors down from Bodner's, between Bodner's and Rebo's. I don't know if it's still going or not. Yeah, glass blowing, she says. And you know, the best part about glass blowing is for stoners like us, we could just blow our own fucking bong.
Yeah,
like, shit. Not that I had that on the ready, but I did. We always do. What? A glass knife? No, we're not going to. Although, you probably could make a glass knife, but it wouldn't be as sharp. Like, I mean, anyways. Watch Forge and Fire. It's so much fun. Forge and Fire and Alone are my two favorite reality shows, if anyone's asking. We will do a reality show top whatever one day. But number 5 on my list, favorite movie was Kate, just because it's fresh in my mind, too. That's another big reason. I really did like Atomic Blonde. There's a shit ton of other great female-led movies, and they're not all action movies either. But yeah, Kate was great. My next one, okay, so it's another action movie, and I don't listen. This movie spawned something like 8 years of television afterwards, and a huge fandom around the world. That was Christy Swanson, Luke Perry, and the Joss Whedon original, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, I don't know why this movie popped in my head as soon as I thought of this. I'm just like, it has to be on there. Like, it was huge, and it was such a big part of pop culture, and a lot of people that are Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans haven't seen the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. Like, even though, a lot of them may know of it, they haven't watched it. But yeah, good movie. I mean, we loved that when we were a kid. Pee Wee Herman was in that movie as well. The one-armed vampire. So, yeah, good times, good times. I don't know if it still holds up, but it's on my list right now because I haven't watched it since. So, it might not hold up anymore. How could you both miss Tank Girl? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love Tank Girl.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
Yeah, it was all right, but I love Lori Petty,
Right.
especially at that point, like in the late '80s, early '90s. Like her, Pauly Shore, and Keanu Reeves were like basically the California connection, even though Keanu was from Manitoba.
And
Thank God, Buffy movie evolved. The movie was good, but the 7 series that followed were great. Yeah, for sure. Sarah Michelle Gellar killed that role. But once they did the musical number, I was out. I'm sorry. That's the only one that hasn't moved me out was Supernatural. Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, next on my list. This was really tough for me. Where I was going to go for this spot right here. I knew I wanted to have it number one, just because I was thinking badass females, right? Instead of overall acting performance. But I was just thinking more influential, badass females. So you're going to see that in my top 3 here. My 3 and my 2 are interchangeable, but I had to put number 3 just because it was a 2-parter, and not both movies were as great. So, and some people like part 1 better than part 2 and vice versa. But for me, Uma Thurman and
Uma Thurman. Yeah, Uma Thurman's great too.
Cool. Yeah. Uma Thurman was good and great in this movie. She did a lot of stunts she shouldn't have done. We know about the issues with her and Quentin Tarantino, her getting in the car accident, and now she's pretty much messed up for life after that. But fantastic acting, and she practiced and did all that sword play. Just great to see that, and I mean,
dedication.
When you think iconic roles, like that's one that's up there. And I had listen. There's of course there was Aliens. People are going to mention Sigourney Weaver. She didn't make the list on either one of ours. Neither one of us are a big Alien
and I love
fan.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, we love her. If I was going to put her in, it would have been in for fucking Freaky Friday or something shit like that. And she wasn't even the lead in that. I would have put Jamie Lee Curtis, But and that's no slight against her. It's just that.
You know what movie I really liked was the one with her and Jennifer Love Hewitt and the guy from the Kevin Smith movies, Mallrats. He was in Heartbreakers, where they're basically gold diggers. They're a mother and daughter team of gold diggers.
Was it Jason Lee?
Jason Lee, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cersei's Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, for sure. Although you could go with several Game of Thrones actresses. Yeah, but none of them as good as Cersei. Closest would be Arya Stark, in my opinion. I know a lot of people would say the Dragon Slayer or Daenerys, but no, I think Arya and Cersei are arguably the 2 best characters on that entire franchise. All right. So yeah, so I had to go with Uma there, and I mean, she's fantastic. That movie, like I said, I know a lot of people didn't like part 2. I like part 2 better than part 1, but I did like part 1 a lot as well. It's just part 2. I just really dug that last scene with her and David Carradine. The 5-finger death punch. So really good movie, I thought. Oh my God, how did I forget Michelle Yeoh? Michelle Yeoh should be on this list just for, if we're doing badass women, I think we'll do that one week. Michelle Yeoh is on that because Michelle Yeoh, wow, like just everything. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She used to be a stunt woman for Jackie Chan's movies. Then she started acting opposite Jackie Chan in the old Hong Kong days. I mean, she's fantastic. She is in everything as well. Shang-Chi, she's in now. Yeah, I love her. She's one of my favorite actresses. Star Trek Discovery, as you hear somebody's car alarm going off outside. I wonder if that's my car. Nope. If it is, they just stole it. I heard it driving away.
But we're going to stay with you because that's how dedicated we are.
We are. And if it's stolen, I mean insurance. Nope. Anyways. So the one that I kind of went back and forth with, I literally just changed just right before I went with my list. And this is one of our favorite movies. You and I, both of us, love this movie. She is a co-star in this movie. I know when you say this duo's name, her name comes second, but that doesn't mean that she is secondary. They are a true couple. They are truly yin and yang, like they're truly one. And that is Mickey and Mallory Knox from Natural Born Killers. And I'm talking about Juliette Lewis. This movie fucks with you. It fucks with you. If you have not seen this movie, watch this movie. Who do we got in this movie? We got Julie Louis-Dreyfus. We got Juliette Lewis. We've got Woody Harrelson, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Sizemore. Who else? I feel like there's so many more people in this movie that I'm leaving out. Rodney Dangerfield. Mrs. Poole, who was the secretary in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean, it's an iconic movie. If
Tommy
you
Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones is crazy in this movie. If you watch this movie, this is Oliver Stone directing a Quentin Tarantino script. So just keep that in mind. It is very.
I own 3 VHS tapes still. I own my second copy of Bloodsport, which probably still doesn't play anymore because I wore that one out too. I own the original Star Wars movies trilogies, still unopened on VHS. And I own Natural Born Killers with the director's cut on VHS still.
That's awesome. So I took when I was in my last year of high school, I took a pre-college criminology class just because in OIC, you need that extra credit just to fill up. So I took that and I did my criminal study. Like we had to do a book, and my book was Natural Born Killers, which was written after the movie was made, which is never the way it goes.
Right.
And they went into so much detail. You and I were talking about it before the show started about how they went right into the court scene, and it's different than the deleted scene.
Right.
Because Woody actually kills the lawyer, one of the lawyers or the prosecuting lawyer, with a pencil. And this one, it's just crazy. It's a great book. And I showed the movie in class during my presentation. 3/4 of the class left. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's an intense movie, especially in high school. High school, like we were, OAC, so we were 17, 18?
Other than Star Wars, this is the movie I've probably seen in the theater the most times. I think I saw this 3 times, maybe 4 times in the theater.
Wow.
And I remember seeing Something About Mary twice. I saw Back to the Future twice. But
I can't think of what I've seen twice in the theaters, to tell you the truth.
I had to go to see it live twice because we got kicked out the first time for laughing and making jokes, and I really wanted to see the end.
You could have just read the fucking encyclopedia or, Google. Was Google around then?
I don't know. Maybe Lugal.
MSN. Uh-oh. And finally, sticking with the badassery, if you're thinking badass women and it's not Sigourney Weaver on your list, and we're talking movies, it has to be Linda fucking Hamilton in Terminator 2. I'm sorry, but Sarah Connors in Terminator 2. I get Terminator 1. She's a badass damsel in distress in part 1.
Yeah.
In part 2, she's the fucking hero. She's the hero. Like I don't care what anybody says. How it's Arnold. It is Arnold's movie, and he's there to save John Connors.
John Connor.
Yeah. So he's there to save Eddie Furlong, which he didn't do, by the way. Have you seen Eddie? But really, though, it's not until they go and save Sarah Connors. My life is complete when I can make Steve pop. Like, really, that's a wrestling term, when you can make somebody laugh or whatever.
Poor Ed. Poor Ed.
I mean, really? Anyways, Sarah Connors. She is definitely the hero of that movie, in my opinion. She makes all the hard decisions. She does all the things that you have to do, and it's all in the name of just saving her son and proving she's not really batshit crazy, which she kind of is. Yeah, that's my top 5. Daniel says Kristen Stewart.
Not a huge fan.
No, me neither. I mean, and I try to be, because there's stuff that I liked her in. I liked her when the first role I remember seeing her in was her and Jodie Foster in Panic Room.
Yeah, great movie.
Loved her. Loved her in that. Liked her in Zathura. She was the oldie bitchy sister who's frozen half the movie. I didn't see the Twilight movies. Like, I saw half of one of them. So sure, we made fun of them, but I literally couldn't. I had no right making fun of them because I haven't seen them. So, but they're just not. They didn't appeal to me. Yeah, but it's not a fair for us to be like, oh yeah, they're shit. You like them, whatever. Kristen Stewart. What else? Charlie's Angels. No, I tried. I couldn't even get through that movie. I tried, but they're talking Oscars for her for she's playing Princess Diana. Princess Di.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
An upcoming movie, so we'll see. To be fair, Sarah Connor in T2 and Dark Fate is pretty awesome. She's probably the only awesome thing in Dark Fate. I mean, let's be honest, and we say this all the time, or at least I do. This franchise should have stopped at T2. There was no point in any of the movies after that. Do a prequel, maybe? Like just as the war with John Connor fighting the war before he goes to the past, or before he sends Reese to the past. But I mean, no. Anyway, so that's my thing. I wanted to bring something up before we get to the stories. You mentioned VHSs. VHS tapes. Do you remember Dennis Boulay at all? Did you know him from high school?
I do remember Dennis, yeah.
Played basketball. Him and I hung out a lot.
Yeah.
We're really tight back in high school. And his parents and I were really tight as well, just like me and your parents. And his dad found this in one of his old boxes today.
Nice.
Dude, I have not seen this since the late 90s when I was on the show. And we used to go to Front 54, Dennis and I. And on the back, there used to be, you went to Front, right? A few times? Remember the backstage at Front 54, they had that drop-down screen that would cover the back bar there. I would walk in, and they would play just my one line of me telling Joy to shut up, like on loop. Like, I haven't seen it since then. So, and this is the important part. I actually found somebody who has technology that's able to move it from there to digital. So we'll all be watching my Ricky Lake show. And sorry, Sarah and Serge, I'm sure neither one of you is watching this right now, and I know you wanted to keep this away from the public, or as you said, you were waiting until I got famous, and then you were going to charge me a lot of money to get it, or whoever journalist wanted to get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Of course, they were mostly kidding. Kristen Stewart as Diana. Fuck off, seriously. Yeah, man, go check the shit out online.
I'm cool. I'm cool if my appearance on People's Court ever gets out. Me on the street in New York with Harvey
from TMZ.
TMZ, yeah. I mean, that was me and Amber, but there is. I mean, if those tapes from Speaker's Corner are still around, then there was one that I remember a couple weeks afterwards. It was like, I saw you on Speaker's Corner this week. I was like, oh god, oh god. We were in Toronto for a Pantera concert, so yeah.
Yeah. You know what though? The one thing about Speaker's Corner, and for those of you that are watching from around the world or wherever, or not from Toronto or from Generation X era, Speaker's Corner, so we had Much Music, which was the Canadian equivalent to MTV. All music videos playing 24 hours a day, and they had music VJs that would play their stuff. On the corner of their building, which is an iconic building that I happen to work at now at CP24, on the corner, they had a booth that they put in for a loonie, which is a Canadian dollar, which is a coin. You put a loonie in the machine, and it's like a photo booth, except for it is a video recording machine, and you got what, a minute or 2 minutes to
minute
talk,
and a half, something like that, yeah.
And I don't think one person was ever in there sober, because that was like a half-hour show that they would put on called Speaker's Corner, where they replaced. So music was so big, and this is before Jersey Shore and all the other reality shows. They put on speakers. They're like, you know what? I know we make a lot of money off of movies or the music, but people love watching these drunk idiot Canadians hop in here at 2, 3 in the morning after the bar closes. Yeah, or after a concert. Dude, I'd be on Electric Circus. We'd go out. We'd go right on there right afterwards. Like, just all, yeah.
Good times.
Good times. We're so old. Pantera Walk. What do you say? That, I always say that would be my walkout tune if I was ever in MMA or wrestling or any fights. Like, that's my go-to song. Like, if I make a movie and there's a big fight scene coming up and a guy has to walk out to go fight somebody, that's going to be it. It's so good. And yes, I'm not going to tell you the movie that's going to have my Godsmack song in it. I'm doing the best I ever did. Go away! Anyways, all right. So that's that. So there will be Ricky Lake coming soon. Now, coming soon is going to be, I want to let you guys know, next Saturday, it's the return of Jordan James Gascon from the Jordan James Show. Our former producer, he's coming back. That's right. He's been busy working over at Bell TV, but he has got some time. He's going to come back next week. We're going to get back to some OK Boomer. We'll check in to see how things are going with him and his podcast. And I think he might be switching things up there. So, stay tuned, folks, because he will be here. He will be here to show how old Steve and I really are. So old. Mostly Steve. It's not helping. All right. So before we get to Steve's 5-second movie review, we do want to take a second to thank our sponsor that lets us go on every week. Without him, we wouldn't be able to do this. And that is, of course, you see over Steve's shoulder right there. That is DocNet, docnet.ca. Folks, are you looking for internet or home phone in Canada? Are you looking to save some money and not sacrifice the service? Then go over to docnet.ca. Give them a shout. Check out their prices. I'm telling you, you're going to be paying a lot cheaper for the same services, if not better than what you already have. Give Tony a call. How fast is it? I don't know. I got my video games going. We're doing the live stream. My son's in the other room playing his live stream. He's playing Call of Duty Vanguard. Yeah, the beta's out this week. I'm playing that too. We don't have the stories, but that's a story I'm putting out there right now. And we're still doing this. So, yes, you want to save some money, go over to docnet.ca. Tell them RatG TV sent you. Connecting your home to the world today. That's a thing.
Or tomorrow, if they're busy.
Well, they might be busy. Kristen Stewart is an awful actress. It's like watching a wrestler act. You know who I'm talking about. Dave Bautista? Listen, I don't get... Dave Bautista just must be the super nicest guy in the fucking world. Because he's great for Drax, but all these other roles he's getting, I'm just like, why are you letting him talk? Listen, I know how rough I am on people who act, but I'm even rougher on people who try to act. And Batista, I'm sorry, don't hurt me. No, he must be really nice. People must really love him. But I don't get it. I really just don't get it. And I'm only repeating what Steve said to me in confidence. So if Batista's watching and you're angry, send all your hate mail to the wellandwingnut at gmail.com. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. All right, brother. Well, it is that time again for Steve's, little 5-second movie review. So, Steve, if you're ready, it's time for Steve's 5-second movie review by Steve. Yeah.
Great,
Yep,
Steve, we're still not nominated for a Juno though.
I know, right? By the way, yes, we were nominated again this year for the Entertainer of the Year, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. And when I say blah, 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 I'm not downplaying the awards for the Reader's Choice Awards here. We're very happy to have won the award last year. But it is a bit of a popularity contest, like a lot of voting. Like when you're in high school and you vote for, class president, prom king, prom queen, you vote for the most popular in that kind of demographic. And not most popular, just the people who know the most people sort of thing, right? So that's why this year we're not putting anything out there. If you want to vote for us, that's great to have us nominated. Cool. Go onto the site. We're not going to post it here or anything like that. But you can do me a favor. If you do vote for us to nominate us, you can nominate, I think, 2 people per category. So nominate us and somebody else. We really appreciate it. We love what we do for you. And I'm not saying we wouldn't welcome another win, but we don't let's be fair to other people too, for real. Because there's some other people
are a lot of great
more talent than we do.
There's a lot of great entertainers here in Niagara.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of them have more talent than we do and should get the votes that we get from people just out of pure loyalty. So, yeah, if you want to vote for us to nominate us, cool. But please vote for somebody else in the area as well. If you don't know anybody else on the list, either look them up and see what they do, or, if you're from out of town or another country, just random. Pick somebody random with us. But yeah, man, we want to spread the love a little bit. Yeah, Dave Bautista, if you're watching, Blumhouse doesn't want you unless you're eating nuts and invisible. Right, because he can only play Drax. Like, I'm sorry. Well, you know what? I haven't watched the TV show C yet with Jason Momoa and him. So I'm going to check that out at some point, and if he's okay there. Because did you watch that movie with him and Jodie Foster where she runs the hospital? What is it? The Hotel Artemis?
No.
Yeah, you can't act. Did you watch the new Blade Runner?
I did.
Yeah. He would have been really good if they just kept him not talking. Anyways, I'll be nominating you and Jordan. Jordan James is awesome. Yes, he most definitely is. I'll vote Cheech and Chong. Well, that's just voting for us.
That's a great vote.
That is a fantastic vote. Well, Steve, we talked about it. It is time for the 5-second movie review. This week you are reviewing the movie Candyman. Reboot. So, buddy, for those at home that haven't seen this before, how this goes down, I know you're not going to believe this was Steve's 5-second movie review, but I'm going to put 5 seconds on the board, and Steve's going to review the movie in 5 seconds. Got it? I know that's tough. Steve, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Your 5 seconds on the board. You may begin now.
The cinematography was sweet, but the lack of sting left this remake without any buzz.
I'm going to be perfectly blunt with you. That kind of bugs me a little bit that you went with so many B puns.
I did. Again, I didn't hate this movie. I said before, leading up to this movie be coming out, I wasn't a huge fan of these first three movies. I think I didn't even see the first three. I saw maybe the second one. I know I saw the first one. Love Tony Todd. Huge Tony Todd fan. He does make an appearance in this one. Not an end credit thing, but a very end of the movie kind of thing. So if you do watch it, definitely stick around for Tony Todd.
I like that.
Shot very well, as a lot of reviews came in for this. This was a running theme, and the cinematography in this was so beautifully shot. This movie, the storyline, it was good. I'm saying I didn't hate it, but that's because I had really low expectations, so that's not really fair. But the story just, it dragged, and it was a slow burn. And the payoff, although gruesome, really didn't do it for me. It didn't make up for the rest of the drag. And I mean, if you're a horror fan and you're a fan of the originals, I definitely recommend checking it out. And you know what? You may have a completely different opinion because there was a lot of good things about this movie. But hey, I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Wait, what?
That's being generous. That's based on the ending, Tony Todd. That's based on some really gruesome scenes near the end.
Wow, man. I'm kind of shocked and saddened for you because I know you're a big, horror fan, and you're a big fan of the original.
I get what they were going for. Jordan Peele. I loved Get Out. I wasn't a huge fan. I wasn't a huge fan of the next one. What was that one called? Where the family had the doppelgangers.
Yeah,
we actually left. Us. We actually left. We left, and then months later it came on streaming. And I'm one of these people. I have this sickness about me where I need to know how bad movies end. So one day I wasn't home and I watched the end of this one, and it did not get better. So, the Twilight Zone, wanted to love it, liked the first couple episodes, and then after that, I couldn't do it anymore. So Jordan Peele, I don't know, he's
batting under 500, definitely, like well below 500. Get Out, and even Get Out, as much as I did like that movie, but it was a slow burn.
It was,
and even the payoff wasn't what I expected it to be, So, I mean, it's okay. If you like that, happy for you.
Lil Rel was great.
So, Steve, we just started streaming to TikTok as well. I got it going on my other phone here. I don't want to knock everything over. I don't know if everybody can see us. There you go. Just looks like nothing there. Hi there, folks. But for those that are joining us, we were talking today on RatG TV about the best female movies, and Steve just finished reviewing the movie Candyman, which you gave
a 2.5.
A 2.5,
which I felt was being a little generous.
which was over generous, is what he said. Has anybody else watched Candyman? Have you watched it here? If you're watching us on Facebook right now, on Ryan's All Things Geek, or if you're watching us on Twitch, I don't know what thing is there. I think it's
Die-hard
YouTube.
horror fans, this is one of those movies I recommend watching, but you'll only watch it once.
Wow. I mean, hey, man, that's the way it goes with a lot of horror movies. All right. Well, thank you for the review there, Stevie. The Welland Wingnut. Like I said, folks, check us out. RatG TV, YouTube, Zeus 10, I think, on, or Zeus RatG, is it, on YouTube. Just follow us. Just look for Zeus and look for RatG TV. Look at all the stuff behind Steve's head. You'll see it there. That's where we are. Remake on TikTok. Fabian says, remake, never do a reboot on a classic. Yeah, I mean, now there's so many, like, everything's a remake. And for the people watching on TikTok, if you're just seeing the blue sheet hung behind me, that's because I got a blue screen going for the people that are watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch right now. Yeah, everything's a remake. Like, and I always say this, I always go back to the Kurosawa Seven Samurai, and then getting the Magnificent Seven, and then so many other movies that spun off of that. You know, there's someone
we're getting a third Thomas Crown Affair remake already.
We're getting our third Dune movie. That's something that we didn't even have in our stories that I should have put in there. Is Denis Villeneuve, and I speak French. But not only did he come out and slam Marvel Studios, calling them copy and paste movies. All movies are copy and paste. Just saying, I had a professor of screenwriting comment on the video saying that there's basically only 6 stories out there in the world, and those have all been retold a million times. Yeah. So we got to get off of that copy shit. And not only that, you're the 3rd director of Dune. How more copy and paste you get to be the 3rd director of a movie? What you say? I'm not trying to get a clip, but come on. That's what happens. Anyways, Luke Tuff says, Us was okay. I agree the Twilight Zone was okay, but agree just wasn't going anywhere. As a horror fan, things are not going well in the genre. However, Blumhouse are nailing it. That took far too long for that. I mean, he hit us up with the Blumhouse during our pre-show before we even came on. I saw the comments up there.
And I do have some sad news. We are being, with the whole Candyman release from MGM, we have been blocked from getting a copyright for our future Clannyman movie. MGM is really fighting us on this one, so the fight's not over yet. We have good lawyers here at RatG TV, but we not getting this story.
How are we not getting this Clanny movie? I mean, we could star in this. I mean,
send all your hate mail to MGM, Metro Golden Mare. And
Metro Golden Mare, send all your legal letters to wellandwingnut@gmail.com. And just like that. All right. Now, before we get into the news, we always do another segment. We either do OK Boomer with Jordan Gascon, or we do what I've been doing lately, and that's our TikToker of the week, or TikToker of the week, as it's spelled out, even though these people usually don't smoke weed, I don't think. But this week, I went with a former child actor from Three Ninjas, and also the last original Red Ranger. That's right, Mike Big Bang Olasky. Big Mike. He's called that because he's actually an MMA fighter. He's got multiple titles, and he is fighting tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific time. The card starts on pay-per-view, folks. You can go and check it out for sure.
If you have a second way of viewing something, so you can keep this show on.
Yeah, well, no, it's PST, so it's still a couple hours before it comes.
Okay, we're good then.
We're good. We're 7:00 Eastern time right now, so we're good. Now, why is he the TikToker of the week? Because this guy's great on TikTok as well. He is funny. He's done a lot of trash talking, so go follow him there to see the rest of the trash talking. But I put a little piece together just for you folks to get to know Mike Olasky as he's preparing for this fight.
Hi, I'm Big Bang Mike. I actually played Colt in the Three Ninjas franchise. Give me a follow. And no, I don't know where Grand Admiral Thrawn is.
Alright guys, so this is a professional opinion. You have to understand I fight as well, and I am betting on Big Bang, and the reason for that is because he's got the experience, he's got the talent, he's been there, done that, he's fought in the ring, so don't take it personal, or you can, or whatever, but don't take it personal. I am betting on the guy who is going to win the fight, Big Bang.
Did you see all the tweets that were coming up there? All the shit talking that he's been doing leading up to this fight. Yeah, like that was the White Power Ranger or the Green Power Ranger, Tommy. One of the first big interviews we've got to do, or that I got to do at Comic-Con, putting all his money on Big Mike, and Big Mike's he's gonna smash. I'm telling you, Jesus loves you is something that I'm being told on TikTok right now. Well, I love Jesus as well. Good guy, from what I hear. But yeah, can't wait. So check out that fight. Is he Rocky the Red Ranger? Yes, he is Rocky the Red Ranger. You got that right. He's fighting tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And look, it is Jordan James right there. Going to be on the show next week. Jordan James gets coming back to do some Okay Boomer. Can't wait. He says Catwoman still. Folks, I know you're like, oh my God, Catwoman? Jordan James is so smart when it comes to this stuff. No, Jordan is talking about Halle Berry's Catwoman. He still stands by.
I thought he was saying Lee Merriweather.
No, Halle Berry. He loves that movie. No cap, as the kids say. No cap. And yes, that was Jordan right above you, buddy. What, are you laughing at my no cap?
Yeah.
I'm hip. I'm very, very hip, I'm telling you. It's what my kids they don't tell me that. You know what? Whatever. Let's just do the news for the people at home so they can go home after this. All right, buddy. Well, this is time for our news, and we start off the news every week like we do with the Well and Wingnut, starting us off with the somber news, and this was a rough week.
Yeah, we didn't do a show last week, so I did add someone who passed the week past. The next two deaths will be more current, but a couple days after our last show, which was 2 weeks ago, we lost Michael K. Williams. You remember him from Boardwalk Empire as Chalky. He was on The Wire, and more recently, Lovecraft Country on HBO and/or Crave here in Canada.
He was on Community for a season. Great actor, and really
54 years old.
Now, have they figured out? Like, I haven't checked up on it. Have they found out the reason?
So I searched today because I had yet to see a story as well, and unfortunately, he had been open about his drug abuse and his trying to get sober for years. There are saying that heroin was found on the scene and it was laced with fentanyl. So unfortunately, this may be looking like an accidental overdose. I mean, we don't want to speculate, but if you're struggling with addiction, we say it, often, get help.
Yeah, and there's always help out there somewhere for you. Don't and we hammer this point, and it's not us preaching to you. It's just us saying, like, you don't have to hold it in. If you're afraid to talk to someone, there are so many different numbers out there for you to reach out to someone to reach out to a stranger that will talk to you and let you get that stuff off your chest and try to work through some of that stuff.
Sometimes easier.
Yeah, that's all you need is an ear, especially an unbiased one. So we say that quite often. Just take care of you. Best way for you to take care of the people around you is to take care of yourself as well. So.
This next one, you may be a little older to know him. He was in the short-lived Joni Loves Chachi sitcom as Uncle Rico, better known. He was also in The History of the World Part 1, which was Mel Brooks, of course, Mel Brooks fan. But best known for Captain Mauser in the Police Academy movies 2 and 3. Art Medrano is passed.
How old was he when he passed?
You know what?
He had to be a bit older because he had to have been in his 40s at the least.
Yeah, you know what?
Police Academy movies.
I
And those were the mid-80s.
I don't have it on this one. I apologize.
All good, buddy. All good. We can find that for later, or somebody else can find it for us online. But this next one hit us both hard. Good fellow Canadian. And, yeah.
Yeah. I find this guy was misunderstood by a lot of people. It may have not have been the biggest comedian in the world, but if you got him, you got him because he was a funny guy. He was a regular on talk shows, Letterman, Conan, Norm Macdonald, did the Weekend Update for a couple years until he was fired by Don Ohlmeyer, who Norm went on a tirade of talk shows bashing Don Ohlmeyer and saying, this guy's best friends with O.J. Simpson. How could he not like me?
Right. But wasn't Tom just following orders, though? Like, it's SNL. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't think you can fire a Norm Macdonald unless you're getting the okay from what's his name? The Canadian guy that invented SNL. Why can't I think his name?
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels, thank you.
He was an executive, so obviously went over Lorne Michaels' head, but short-lived on there. But so many great moments. I remember right after the OJ conviction or acquittal, his first story on the Weekend Update was breaking news out of California: murder now legal in California.
That's what got him fired.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, go ahead.
My favorite was at the ESPY Awards. Did you see this one?
Yeah, they just played it. They've been playing them all lately.
Yeah. So Charles Woodson was in the audience, who was the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And Norm Macdonald said, congratulations.
Michigan.
That's something no one can ever take away from you unless you kill your wife and a waiter.
Like Norm. No, I mean,
he was the original troll. He was the original talk show troll.
Yeah, and you know what though? When we talk about as Canadians, the greatest compliment any Canadian can give to another Canadian. What a beaut! Like just a beaut. That guy's just a beauty. Rest in peace, Norm. Mike Tyson Mysteries, Billy Madison, Weekend Update. Like I was talking about this with my son. I think at least for us, because Norm was our generation of SNL. Like I get Chevy Chase was prior, but he revolutionized that anchor desk. Like when I think all-time great anchor desk, I think of Norm Macdonald, and don't hate me, but Dennis Miller. I as much as I don't agree with all his politics, I really love Dennis Miller's.
No, Norm absolutely, like he was not silent about just relishing in bombing. He loved it. He loved to look out on the audience and see people cringing at his punch lines.
Which that was him at I forget which celebrity roast. Right. So great. Oh my Lord. Now, you want to talk about some awkward things. We're going to move on. Folks, have you watched The Dark Side of the Ring on Crave TV? I don't know if it's on in the States or in England. This is basically Vice City does these shows based on
It's behind the music, but wrestling.
Exactly. And there's some horrific stories in wrestling. Chris Benoit, they've already done with him murdering his wife and child and then committing suicide. New Jack. I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy things. Dino Bravo. This weekend, it was the plane ride from hell. Some of the main players in this were Michael P. Hayes, who was head of talent relations at the time, who was a bit of a douchebag, though, and bad drunk. As you see, sport my favorite bottle, JD there. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, Brock Lesnar, and Ric Flair. These were all some players coming back. So basically, Vince McMahon, normally what they do is they'll hire first class for Vince McMahon and his crew. Not the wrestlers. They'll go back and, whatever, or charter plane. They had a whole plane to themselves that's usually just for, I think it was the Arizona Coyotes and the Phoenix Suns and whoever else. And they got to take it across borders. And they had a 7-hour layover coming back from Germany, I think it was. And they went through 3 carts of alcohol. And on this, they terrorized the poor flight crew so much. And each other. A full-out brawl started between Brock Lesnar and Mr. Perfect on the flight. Mr. Perfect was known as a prankster, so there were rumors that he H-bombed somebody, which was dropping, what was the drug?
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it would knock people out, though, and make them froth at the mouth or whatever. Somebody think they did that to Michael P. Hayes, who we see on the far end with the Jack Daniels bottle, who was an agent at the time, who him and X-Pac hated each other, and he had fallen asleep drunk, or somebody H-bombed him as well. They think it was Mr. Perfect, and X-Pac came behind him and cut his ponytail off. And but Michael Hayes, earlier in the flight, was so drunk and fucked up on drugs that he got up and punched, I forget who it was, right in the face, who had already been scarred up while he was sleeping. And who was it? The guy, whoever it was, they got up and beat the shit out of him. Was it Brock Lesnar or somebody? No, it wasn't Brock. Because Brock ended up fighting Kurt Hennig. Ric Flair does what Ric Flair does. And I've mentioned this before. I think a lot of people are going to get Me Too'd when it comes to a lot of shit that people did in this instance. Because we knew a lot of people that did shit like this. Plus, I've heard a lot of stories of Michael Rosenbaum on the set of Smallville, David Boreanaz, we talked about him, doing the same thing on the set of Buffy. And that is coming out fully naked because they're well endowed and just doing the helicopter for people. Ric Flair did this on the flight because it got the guys going, because Ric Flair is, I guess, got the hammer from hell. And the guys get off on it. And I don't mean in a sexual way. They laugh and joke, whatever. But Rick took it too far, according to a flight attendant, and kind of forced himself upon her, not to have sex, but trying to get her to touch him and things like that, which is completely wrong. Back then, now, anytime, that was always fucking wrong. Art was 85. Thank you, Ron. You freeze periodically. Yeah, it's my son playing that game, probably. We just thought Natalie Portman, V is for Vendetta. We thought about that as well. Now, listen, I got to tell you, after the fallout here, so that lady ended up basically looking for repping, she basically sued the WWE afterwards for all the torment that she went through. I mean, there was shit on the floor. There were drugs on the floor, steroid needles everywhere. And these guys made her life a living hell. And, so I get her looking for some kind of, retribution. Well, Tommy Dreamer did not feel the same way. Tommy Dreamer came out saying, defending Ric Flair, saying that Ric Flair is not going to try to impose what not going to try to pose by force any sexual stuff onto anybody. He's just flaunting, styling, and profiling, doing the Ric Flair stuff where everybody's going to laugh about it, but obviously someone took offense to it. If that's how she felt, maybe she should have not taken a payout and went to the fullest extent of the law to then truly put this heinous person in jail. And when he said that, he was being very sarcastic as well.
She did say on the show that it was her husband that really didn't want the story getting out because they did have a daughter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Tommy went on to say, I feel this is trying to portray someone as a sexual predator, and it is not. It's a joke. It's a gag, and today 1,000% inappropriate. I've hung out with Ric Flair. I've never seen him try to force his will against anybody. So that's what Tommy Dreamer had to say. Tommy Dreamer currently working for Impact Wrestling, or should I say was working for Impact Wrestling. He has been suspended after these comments sticking up for Ric Flair. A lot of rumors and news coming in that Ric Flair is losing sponsorship all over the place after this episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I mean, so the thing with time, like either you die and people find the shit out after you die, or you live long enough that your life gets ruined because people find out the shitty things you did. Now the flight attendant, we watched the movie. She did say that she didn't think that Rick was trying to force himself upon her to rape or anything like that, but he was still trying to get her to grab his junk, so that's not cool, man. Like I said, not back then, not now. And she was married with kids too. So Tommy Dreamer got suspended in this day and age. It's not surprising at all. That's not me saying that he shouldn't be, but man. If Flair was acting like a predator, that's just kind of the way shit's gonna go, right? Shit, I thought you were on about a porno Dark Side of the Ring, right? Seems that way. Anyways, but yeah, so that's our Predator story, or one of them.
Yeah, Predator 5, I guess it is now 5. I
have no idea.
Predator 5 has wrapped production in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. For those who don't know, we now know that Amber Midthunder is going to be the lead. You can also check her out in the upcoming Netflix movie, The Ice Road, which I think comes out this week on Netflix. Okay. So this Predator movie, it's just going to be a Disney release. The working title is Skulls, but we don't know officially what the title is going to be. So
this is the Skulls movie. I thought they had already wrapped that. I thought this was another movie they had already moved on to, because it feels like there's a new Predator movie every 6 months or so. I feel like there's more Predator movies than Marvel movies. No, I'm kidding, but it's getting there. They have a pretty close to rules. But that's a pretty big shared universe as well. People talk about established shared universes.
Yeah.
Predator versus Aliens is a shared universe now too. So that gives you all those movies across both those franchises, which is a long, long freaking time. And Luke says he loves the Predator movies, can't get enough. He just wishes Blumhouse made them.
This is true.
This is very, very true.
I like to see them take a shot at it.
I don't know how I messed up here, but I've got like 3 of your stories in a row here.
Oh.
You can go next, though. I have Ashton Kutcher up next.
Okay. Well, we talked about this story a couple weeks ago. Ashton Kutcher was on Dak Shepard's podcast with his wife, Mila Kunis, and they were talking about how they didn't regularly bathe. I mean, they washed all the important parts, they said, with the hand towel, I guess. But this isn't going away anytime soon. Ashton Kutcher, as you informed me, was there to make some kind of commencement speech for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And he was asked to join the set of ESPN's College Game Day to be a picker for the game. And he was met with a chant from fans that were behind the desk of "Take a shower, take a shower."
college fans are. I think the only people that are more ruthless are Philadelphia fans.
Ashton, he kept his cool. He definitely didn't acknowledge the crowd or play into it, but you know he heard it and has yet to comment.
That's awesome. This is not a story, but I'm putting it in there anyways. Frank Caliendo followed me on TikTok today. Right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm halfway.
Great impersonator.
Yeah, man. I think he's great. I like him. He's a winner. And speaking of a winner, you know who won at the box office this week? Again, Shang-Chi. That's right, man. Overall, they have made. This is the third week in a row they've won at the box office. Set a box office record for Labor Day weekend, which is amazing considering it's. Of course, COVID. We're still in the midst of that. $176.1 million so far that movie has made globally. And that's not China yet. I don't think they've had that China release because they have all those issues because Simu Liu had an old tweet resurface or an old interview resurface where he talked about why his parents left China. And, I mean, guy spoke the truth. They didn't like that.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though. What can you do? Sometimes you just got to be footloose and fancy free. I don't know. Moving right along? No? Oh, is that my story?
I think you were next, though.
That was my Muppet story. It was supposed to be next, wasn't it? I went twice. I thought that Muppet story was yours. But we got a Muppet Show story. I don't remember what the story was. It was something to do with the Muppets, and it looked really good. I think there was a Muppet remake coming out of some sort, but then we lost it. So, I mean, there's a picture of the Muppet Show, though, just for people who want to see it, because that's what I do for you folks. I'm very kind like that. And as you can see, we've got some fine actresses behind me there. Halle Berry, another great actress that I really like that didn't make my list. As you can hear the guitar or the motorcycle pulling away here. But yeah, I'm waiting for Steve to come back so he can do his next story. But that's just not seeming to happen at this point. He seems to be off his game. He went somewhere. I think he's going to a bathroom at this point. I hope I'm not skipping like I normally do from time to time. Let's see if he's back. He's not back. That's what it looks like when Steve's not back. Hey, there he is. How's it going, buddy? Did you need a little me time?
I did. I did need a little me time. It was no accident, though, unlike on the set of the new Netflix movie Me Time starring Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg. They were filming this movie, and a stage tech fell 30 feet, breaking both legs and an arm. 911 call was made Monday morning. He's in the hospital and expected to make a full recovery, but we don't know a whole lot more on that right now.
Dude, that is insane. How does that even happen?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're on a big budget film like that. Steve went to watch my How to Drink movie.
I did.
And it was an animated movie where he had an animated Clanny showing everybody.
And about halfway, he takes his robe and puts it open and starts to do the helicopter.
It's all right. Tommy Dreamer had his back. What, too soon? Speaking of too soon, we've been talking a lot lately about how Seth MacFarlane has been talking about how much he hates being on Fox. This was before the Disney deal. Well, I mean, he's one step closer to getting his wish, I guess. They are moving from the Disney app and going to be moving effective immediately. Family Guy will be on Hulu. Now, I don't know how that's going to work here in Canada. I think we're still going to keep them here on Disney Plus, the Canada stream, because we don't have Hulu.
Or maybe it'll move back to Netflix. Who knows?
You know what? That might happen too. I don't know. But let's be honest about it, though. Disney owns 60% of Hulu. They had a 30% stake in the company. And then when they bought Fox, Fox's film division, they got their 30% as well. So that makes them the head honcho at Hulu. Hulu. Boom, Steve, you've seen it. We don't have Hulu in Australia. No, you're not missing much. Flickster. What? What? I didn't say anything about a Netflix killer. Flickster. I'm just saying if that site becomes legit somehow, I don't see how it could, but no, I know. But if it does, I need a hookup. Flickster. Listen, I'm sorry. I had to cough. Flickster. Just because, I'm trying to purge this shit out of my system.
This is like six times. This is like the sixth time.
Yeah, this is like the sixth time I've had to Flickster.
Yeah, the Purge 6. Apparently, the script is done, and Frank Grillo said on a podcast earlier this week that he will return as Sergeant Leo Farmer. Yeah, my penmanship's not the greatest. This is the sixth movie in the franchise. You first saw this character played by Frank Grillo in the second Purge movie, Purge Anarchy.
So I know he's in these movies. He's in a couple of them, isn't he?
That's the only one I saw
He's the one with
mentioned.
the president.
I thought he was in a couple as well too, but maybe it's like a flashback scene that they just used a scene from number 2 or something.
I thought he was in the one with the president where he's trying to save the president, get her from one spot to the other.
Isn't that Anarchy?
I have never seen one of these movies. Not a one.
I don't know.
You know why? Because when I listen, I don't mean to get political, and only Canadians are going to get this, but when I see The Purge, that's some PPC shit. That is the PPC party fucking being like, oh, yeah, man. If they get elected, they're going to be like, yo, man, we need to purge. It just makes sense, really, though. What's the harm of purging? But really, we're just going to start with the multicultural. No, I'm sorry. It's funny because it's true. They're bastards.
Just remember, a vote for P. If you're watching here in Canada, realistically, a vote for PPC is a vote for Liberal.
I mean, I'd rather you vote orange. But
only because you're helping put them back in instead of voting for the only people that have a chance to beat them.
Oh, and can we get into some other shit here with Canadian politics while we're at it, while we're talking some politics? I'm seeing a lot of trash talking from PPC, from PC, and from Liberal, and a little bit from, I'm not really seeing it from the NDP, for the MP. I'm just talking the MP riding.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the PPC party say a lot of shit about everybody. I've seen the PC party say a lot of shit about basically the Liberals and a little bit about the NDP, but they're like, don't vote. We're not with this guy when they're talking about the PPC. If you're just an MP here, we're never voting for you. If you get elected as the MP for Niagara, we didn't vote for you. We were voting for the Prime Minister. That the only way we can vote for the Prime Minister is vote for you. So we're not voting for you. We're voting for the guy at the top.
Such a flawed system.
It is so that's the flawed thing. I think
it's always bugged me.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that's always bugged me about Canadian politics too. Purge election year. Oh, nice, thank you. Purge, is that done by a certain company? Blumhouse? Ruler. Is it Blumhouse?
I'm not sure.
Just saying. Vote for Purge. I want to purge a tourist. I'm not going to Gurney's. Do I say that right?
I think so.
But
I have a native ear.
Right. That's what I was thinking. You definitely have a native ear. Because if anybody does, it's definitely you. Now, tell me, what accent am I doing now? And what person? Trousers.
Okay. That was definitely Hugh Jackman.
I fucking hate you. That was my Sean Connery. Shaken, not stirred. Yeah, whatever. It's a good Scottish accent, almost. Not really. I just, yeah, not bad, Dave. I only bring up Sean Connery because James Bond, No Time to Die, has finally wrapped. Daniel Craig addressed the cast and crew today, thanked them all for this great journey as he filmed his last outing as James Bond. Rumor is a lot of people are speculating he dies in this movie. I always forget her name, and I apologize, but the black woman that's in it that plays another agent that's working with him, we believe she takes over the designation of 007, not James Bond. Relax, folks, just 007. But that doesn't even mean anything because we're going to get a new set of James Bond movies soon anyways with a new person, which brings me to this photo here. Now, these are the fan favorites that everyone always mentions when they want to see a new James Bond. The only other person that I often hear added to this is the one person I think would be best suited for this. Like, I think Tom Hardy and Idris Elba both suffer from the same problem. They're both too street. Like, they're both too, you look at them and they don't look refined. They look like they'll whoop your fucking ass. They look like they'll be in a club. They look like they'll be in a boxing ring. And that's not speaking on, obviously it's not speaking on race because it's a white guy and a black guy. I think both of them fit that same fucking mold. Someone who could fit the perfect James Bond mold though, and who's got the charm and charisma that we've all witnessed over the last 10 years. Will fucking Ferrell. He's got that English accent. He's fucking great. Have you ever seen his Sherlock Holmes movie? I mean, fucking great. I hate you so much.
I shut that movie off.
Good. No, Tom Hiddleston. He's done a great job as Loki. This is the thing with James Bond. You have to look unassuming. You have to be able to slip into a crowd, but you also have to be able to charm your way in any crowd that you're in. Tom Hardy and Idris Elba are not that. They're not. They're gonna bully their way through. You know, they're gonna use brute strength. And yeah, I mean, both of them just have too commanding of a presence. I find for them to be super spies, to be unassuming, if you will. Yeah. But who else would you like to see? That's my pick. I think Tom Hiddleston would be good. I hear a lot of people say Henry Cavill. I think he'd be okay if he was a little bit stronger actor.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know what? I'd almost be happy going with an unknown.
Yeah, an unknown would be good. An unknown Brit. I'm not into the whole change of chat to black or a woman or other, but Idris Elba would be a great Bond. No, I don't. Like I said, I think he's too street, just like Tom Hardy. And when it comes to a black super spy in Britain and in Germany and Sweden and all these places that Bond always goes, to have a black guy in all these predominantly white places, he's going to stand out as a sore fucking thumb. So you will always recognize where the super spy is. I make the joke all the time. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. The only black guy.
It'd be like there's Waldo.
Right. There's fucking Waldo. But Hardy has the same. He's just too street. He's too rough around the edges to be refined. I know you guys always want to bring up the movie where he played the twin, the real life twin gangsters from England. Oh, I forget what that's called. Great movie though. If you have never seen it, Steve, you'd like it. But even then, it's just not. It's just not him. Oh, for 007, I go Jean Page or David Ajaj. I don't know who either one of those are. I'll have to look them up though. Yeah. I like it. But thank you for sticking with us for so long. What else we got here for stories? That was my James Bond story, and yeah. So did you have someone you'd put? Oh yeah, you had someone known. Do you think Daniel Craig's James Bond will survive in this? Will he be a survivor?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's definitely done. So to kill him off is not far fetched. I don't believe.
Yeah, but it also doesn't accomplish anything unless it's for the story. Unless it's to further the story. I'm not gonna lie. For me, the one thing that I liked the Logan movie with Wolverine with Hugh Jackman. I thought it was good, just like everybody else did. I didn't think it was as epic as everyone else did, just because he died at the end, and you knew that was coming. And it was like they did it just because they felt like they had to do it. It felt like when he died, I just felt like it didn't have that true purpose. And it's fucking Wolverine. He just wouldn't. He would have healed. I'm sorry. He would have healed. Read a fucking comic book, Fox. I said Fox, not Fox, but that too. Zeus for 007, Steve for Goldfinger. Steve has a Goldfinger, but it was from an old anal accident. Never mind.
It was a smelting accident.
Want him to die and be retired. Die.
Can you retire if you're dead?
But no, I get what she's saying. Die. Yeah, in the quotes. And you're right. That's what I think is going to happen. Like, I legit think that's happening. Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see if he's a survivor or not.
How many times?
Can I send that to that segue to you, or how many times?
Like, how many times do you think he'd survive? Like 41?
Yeah, I'd say at least 41, not 42, because that would be, the answer to life and everything else in the universe.
That'd be in the future.
Right.
Because currently, September 28th, I believe, Survivor Season 41 is coming. No theme this year, which is a different thing for them. They've always done the this versus that, Gen X versus Millennial, or brother versus sister. It says no more themes, and they did say that this one is only going to be 26 days long, as opposed to the regular 39 days, because they had to quarantine everyone for 2 weeks. And they film back-to-back seasons when they go to these remote locations, so it extends their stay there. But they said they're going to try and make it feel like 39 days by making it a little bit harder. And we'll see.
Listen, I've never watched a full season of Survivor ever. I watched. I think it was Celebrity Survivor not Celebrity Survivor. All-Star Survivors, like the first ones with the guy, the first gay guy that won, or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Richard Hatch.
Naked all the time, Richard Hatch. I seen a lot of that season, but it just didn't do it for me, because at that point, my two favorite reality shows at that point was a show called, I know you remember Survivor, man, with Les Stroud. He'd go out in the wilderness and film he'd just be by himself. No camera crew, no nothing, and he'd just go survive in the wilderness until he couldn't handle it anymore. And my other one was Man Tracker. Remember Man Tracker?
I do remember that show, yeah.
Badass shows. So, and I had always said from day one, I'm like, give me a show where it's a bunch of people like from Man Tracker or Les Stroud, and just throw them out in the wilderness, these fucking survival experts around the world, and just throw them out in the wilderness by themselves with a camera and see who could outlast who.
Like if they're alone?
And Alone came out. Alone is fucking great. Like, this is what Survivor's supposed to be to me, and I get that people like.
And Survivor's a soap opera. They make no bones about it being a soap opera.
It's like watching Temptation Island, except for there's no people hooking up, or other people. I'm sure other people hooking up. Do people hook up?
There's been stories, but they definitely don't profile that on the show. There has been a few, though. I mean, including Jeff Probst himself. He married one of the former contestants.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Isn't Survivor a story of living with HIV? I'm confused. No, that's Philadelphia. Both the movie and the city. I'm just kidding, Philadelphia. Don't shoot me. Send all your hate mail to wellandwigmail@gmail.com. Man Tracker was great. I love that show. Man Tracker was awesome. Yes, it was. I really like Alone. I love Alone. My two favorite shows right now, my two favorite reality shows, I say it all the time, and I probably already said it earlier today, Alone and Forged in Fire. Good shit. And I think they work together because one of the contestants from Alone was on Forged with Fire. So, yeah.
Cool.
Good times. That's what I do. That's what I talk about. I try to make that connection. You know, like how we didn't really have a connection here to the next story, but this story ends up being the connector between this story and the previous story, which was James Bond, and we talked about Tom Hardy maybe possibly coming in. Well, hey, what? Tom Hardy was recently spotted wearing a No Way Home production cap that's only given to cast and crew. Now, because people saw this, fans are losing their fucking shit thinking this is Tom Hardy trying to say, hey, listen, I'm in this new Spider-Man movie. But I find it funny because this is Venom Let There Be Carnage comes out in 2 weeks. October 1st or October 2nd, one of the 2 dates, I'm not too sure. And I think this is a good way for him to, you know, build even more buzz for his movie. People are going to go see Venom Let There Be Carnage no matter what, though. Sure. Woody Harrelson as Carnage is just anyone who knows anything about Spider-Man and Carnage in particular. Cletus Cassidy, serial killer. I mean, we talked about Natural Born Killers earlier. Like that's
Woody's great. You and I both have been fans of Woody since Cheers.
Since Cheers, yeah, man. Since Wildcats. I think Wildcats was even predated Cheers. Like Wesley and Woody, right? Goldie Hawn. Yeah. So I think, yeah. And Luke mentioned that earlier. But anyways, so that was my connection, saying that we may, or maybe we're just buying into the hype, but maybe we see Tom Hardy in the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home movie. I'm down. Why not? Put him as part of the Sinister Six. That's what they do, yo. And I don't have a segue for your last story.
So anybody knows from around here, maybe you didn't, but just about 3 hours down the road from us in Rochester, New York, beautiful Rochester, New York. I'm sorry for the people from Rochester. That city scares the shit out of me. All right, I've been there like twice.
Didn't the Bills used to play out of Rochester?
And I've been to the bad part of Philadelphia to see a boxing match in a fucking basement fucking boxing club. So
he's driven through Detroit.
That says something. Anyways, Toy Hall of Fame is in Rochester, New York, and every year they nominate a bunch of classic toys to be entered into the Toy Hall of Fame. And this year, I've seen this for the last couple of years, and I'm never usually this shocked. And I would have thought Cabbage Patch Kids would have already been in the Toy Hall of Fame. Like, I mean, these things were like old people beat the shit out of each other for these things in the 80s.
They're still worth a lot of money now. If you've got them,
I remember my mom bought one. I didn't even have one. My mom had one. Had to have one.
What do you think's worth more right now? An original Cabbage Patch or an original Pound Puppy?
Ooh. You know what? I had a Pound Puppy, and I know for a fact my mom still has her Cabbage Patch doll, probably in mint condition. So.
Oh wow. I'm surprised Mom still doesn't have it in the box.
Along with the final nominees this year are just regular old sand, which I thought was weird, but then I did a deep dig, and apparently a cardboard box and a stick are already members of the Toy Hall of Fame. Which, you know what? Sticks, I mean, I had sticks I kept for weeks on end.
Oh, for sure. You know what? After watching because we were a little young to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark in theaters. But we were just the right age for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And I remember leaving the theater with my big brother, Jamie Flannery, at the time, and us stopping through, because we walked from the mall back to basically Main Street and crossing the canal and shit, and grabbed sticks, and we played sword fighting all the way home. And I kept that stick for weeks. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Nominees with regular old sand is Battleship and Risk and the Masters of the Universe toys.
Nice, good. Some shout-outs for He-Man. I like it. That is I'm kind of down with that. Right on, man. Well, hey, you know what they say? The devil's in the details. And speaking of the devil in the details. Lucifer finally wraps up season 6. We talked last week about how before season 6 released, that they were talking about maybe they would do a movie sometime down the line. I wish they wouldn't have said that before the series was released, though, because then you kind of know what's going to happen. You know, basically the cast is going to survive for the most part, because if they're talking about, hey, we're going to do a movie one day, well, that means everybody's alive. It was an okay final season. It's so weird watching it. This was a Fox show, a show on Fox television, got canceled, picked up by Netflix, and they added swearing and a little more like violence and graphic violence, and it came off with a CW feel to it still. And I really like the show. Don't get me wrong. I really, really did like the show, and I'd want to see more of it. I'm not going to lie. I'd like to see a season where they brought in Constantine from DC's Legends of Tomorrow. But yeah, they finally finished it up. I think if you're a fan of the show, they gave every fan what they wanted, basically, which I'm completely cool with. You know, and I won't give any spoilers away, but even the people that didn't have a typical happy ending still had basically a happy ending in this. So good way to end off a series, I think. And they did leave room for a movie a few years down the road. I don't think we need it, but we may get it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyways, you didn't really watch it though at all, eh?
No, my daughter watched it and definitely recommended it to me more than once. But as you said, it kind of had that CW feel from the trailers, which I haven't been historically a fan of shows on that network. So
fair. Here's what I will say about the CW shows, and this happens a lot of times with the first year shows, but Superman and Lois is fucking great. That guy looks nothing like Superman. He's way too fucking small, and he is arguably the best Superman since Christopher Reeve, I should say.
The 100, was that CW or was that WB?
That was CW.
That was so that there was a show I really liked until the books ended.
Yeah.
Once the story from the books ended, the show went to shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. That show was so shocking. That first season was like, oh my god. Yeah. And wasn't even the second season when they kill Finn, where what's her name? I can't even remember her name. Juan Haida ends up killing her love. Like, yeah. And I still flash back to, and I don't remember his name, but the first season, the black guy that was Jihad's son gets his fingers chopped off and then stabbed in the throat. And I'm like, CW? Like, yeah. All right.
Now you know why they had me on board.
You got my attention. Oh, yeah, man. No, and that's what I kept telling you. Remember, I was the one that told you to watch that show. And then, I know, I'm sorry. But that was before we got to the end. Decent. Anyways, that's it. That's my last story. But you got one more.
Yeah, we love showing our love to Tom Hanks. So anytime he's got something new, we love to promote the hell out of it. Sticking with Apple TV, his last movie was News of the World, which was a good story. It was a little slow, but it was turn of the century, 1900s time, where Tom Hanks played a guy who traveled from town to town and read little newspapers to people who otherwise wouldn't hear that.
Little girl.
The next Apple TV movie is a movie called Finch, starring Tom Hanks, which is about a robot living with, being programmed and trained to live in a post-apocalyptic world with its maker's dog because he is dying.
So the robot is a personal support robot for the dog?
So Tom Hanks is creating the robot to be able to take care of his dog once he passes because he knows he's dying.
Oh, I mean, okay. I guess. Like you said, Tom Hanks, we love Tom Hanks. We put Tom Hanks over all the time, to steal a phrase from wrestling, but he's that great to us. And listen, whatever you QAnon people fucking want to say about him eating children or whatever the fuck you think it is, when we ever see proof, we'll believe some of you guys. But Oh, and can I also point one thing out? Remember chain letters?
Yeah.
Remember, if you don't fill this out, you will have bad luck for 7 years. Blah 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 blah. If you fill it out, you'll QAnon people, PPC, and flat earthers. You guys all believed in chain letters, didn't you? You did. Come on, tell the truth. Come on, we know it.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, Tom Hanks. Yeah, I mean, he has had a lot of slow movies later in his career now.
Yeah.
You know, even the more exciting ones that we've liked, like Captain Phillips and Sully. You know, they were still slow.
I was actually really behind on watching Terminal, and that was a great story.
Yeah, and I still haven't because I always mix that up. The Terminal. I always mix that one up with what's the one with Bill Murray where he's stuck in the airport. Is there one where he's stuck in an airport too? I think so. Anyway, somebody will let us know online there. But yeah, I love Tom. I just want to see Tom go back to comedy. I really do. I want to see some comedy from Tom. I would love to see Tom Hanks get a sitcom. And I know he doesn't want to do a sitcom because it's a lot of fucking work. I want to see Tom Hanks do a sitcom. Because he is fucking funny as shit. And he's great in front of a fucking audience. So if you get a live studio audience, go.
I got the title right now. Grumpy Old Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies wouldn't work now. And I don't mean because it's offensive. I mean, if you were transgender, or and it's not even transgender, right? It's if you're a cross-dresser, you may still be allowed in that building. I don't think they would be allowed to do a women's only building.
Right.
So I don't think Bosom Buddies would work just because of the dynamics today.
Yeah.
They'd have to approach it a different way. They wouldn't. They'd have to go away from the all women's building. It would have to be something that wasn't about gender. You know, it was only conservatives or only. I don't know.
That's a horror story.
Oh my God! You do Bosom Buddy? Oh no, you couldn't because that's blackface. Never mind. Like you do it in a black building, and then they dress up as black. Oh yeah, wait. That's how Justin Trudeau got in trouble. Thinking, hey, here's a good idea. LOL, babe. Hey, thanks, Amber. Oh my God, pound
Well,
puppies.
it's so weird that she calls us both babe.
Right? I never know who she's talking about. Bachelor Party, Tom Hanks. Good movie. Is it though? I haven't watched it in so long.
What about a Money Pit 2?
Shelley Long. Shelley Long or Shelley Winters? I always mix the two up. Shelley Long.
Yeah.
Shelley
I'm
Winters.
worried about her. Is she working? Has she eaten in a while? I'm worried. I'm worried about Shelley Long.
Is she alive?
I don't know.
Somebody let us know if Shelley Long is alive. I know Shelley Winters isn't. Or she shouldn't be. She was like the grandma in Roseanne, the original run. But yeah, all right. Well, that's it. I got no more stories, folks. You guys have any stories before we leave? No?
That's it for me, man.
Yeah, that's it for me as well. Don't forget, next week it is the return of Jordan James from the Jordan James Show and the return of OK Boomer. Here, you forgot what OK Boomer was like? Here, just in case, here's a little preview of our intro.
Hold up.
Shelley Long is still with us. She is 72 years old.
Damn, nice. Good to hear. Shell last did Marky Post. Shelley Long is alive and 72 years old. Love it, love it, love it. We showed you the Power Rangers. We showed you OK Boomer for next week. Everybody saying goodbye. We'll see you, Luke.
I do know my movie review next week will be Jake Gyllenhaal movie. It's called The Guilty, and you can check this movie out on Netflix starting October 1st. I got it early. Ryan knows why.
What?
But yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. This is I don't want to scare people because I don't know how many people actually like this movie, but this is basically Jake Gyllenhaal. This is phone booth, but he is a 911 operator. He's a cop on suspension, having to perform duty as a 911 operator, and he gets a call. And this movie happens entirely in real time, so it's about an hour and a half, and it's pretty intense. They shot this movie in 11 days.
So it's in real time, and I don't think phone booth was in real time though.
No, I don't think it was in complete real time.
That was the movie you're thinking of is the Johnny Depp Christopher Walken movie, Out of Time, I think it's called, or Nick of Time.
Okay.
Remember where Johnny Depp is a dad, and they kidnap his daughter at the mall and give him a gun and say you have to assassinate the senator or whoever it is that's going to show up there. And that whole movie. Remember they throw him off the third balcony. That was a really, really well done movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's me.
So yeah, The Guilty, starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nice. And Loretta said still alive and was on Modern Family for a few episodes. Shelley Long.
Yeah, I fell off with Modern Family.
Yeah, I never got into it. Yeah, I know. I was always too busy watching. Oh, folks, before we go, we're at the 2-hour mark, so it is the end of the show for sure. There is one thing I have to make everybody aware of. I know a few weeks ago, a lot of you guys saw on here me getting bullied from the Well and Wingnut's wife, Amber, about a show called This Is Us. She came on and she's like, how do you feel about this? How do you like this show? I get a message from Steve a couple of days ago, or a week ago, and he's like, Amber is like bawling her eyes out at This Is Us. And what, Amber, what season are you on?
Fuck off, Ryan.
What season are you on?
Season 2, episode 18 or 19.
Hey, I just want to put it out there. Smoke inhalation is very bad for you.
Shut up, Ryan.
Jack is so sweet and so loving and so caring and such a great dad for an alcoholic. Poor Amber. Yeah, so Amber loves the show, and she is the queen of the hypocrites, and I just wanted to make sure that the world knew that. From me to Amber. And to everybody
I own it, buddy. At least I admit when I'm wrong. I owned it.
Me too.
Oh, I know you did. I'm just saying. I'm not, like some women wouldn't. I do. Steve sucks me into all kinds of crap and end up liking it.
I love how Steve's got that look on his face going like, I mean, sure, sometimes you own it. Shut up. Anyways, yeah, it's been a good night, folks. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go out, watch This Is Us to see what me and Amber are crying about. And Steve gets a tear in his eye as well. Don't let him fool you.
Steelers fans.
Anyways.
The worst.
For the Well and Wingnut, for the Well and Wing Taco, I'm your boy, Zeus. And this has been another edition of RatG TV. Peace out, everybody. Have a great weekend.